Alright, I'm from Rome, N.Y. I was 12 years old during this festival. I'm not going to front like I went, but I lived right down the road on Floyd Ave. Hot dogs and hamburgers were cheap if you went to my mom. No, really, we were cooking out on a grill. Um, Mohawk Valley, the Mohawk River, Utica, Rome. They're pretty close. And there's this town called Camden. I figure since Rome had a lot of land, the Air Force Base wasn't in use at the time. Now they reopen it for the Air Force, but they had a bunch of people show up, including a lot of famous people of the era at the end of the 90s. You got to blame the entire end of the 90s for what happened. And this was after Columbine, so I almost got kicked out of school for visualizing what happened. It wasn't too hard to prophesy. I mean, I watched real TV. I was doing my current events, and I said it, and my teacher flipped out on me because this was right after Columbine. That happened all the way in Colorado. I mean, I don't got blamed for that, even though it wasn't their fault. Columbine was... There was a lot of reason behind it. I'm not going to do a reaction video on that one. But this ended up in total anarchy. And peace and love. Billy Joe Armstrong started in 94. Anarchy. Limp Bizkit, Ice Cube. There were a lot of headlining bands there. Korn, ICP. Jewel was hot. Yes, she was. She was really hot then. When I get to the video, I want you guys to see this. Because they're doing this on HBO. And like Phoenix Rising, it's laudanous. It's a bunch of lies they're telling now. There is an anti-gun group, I believe they were called TAT. They were handing out the candles. So those who said it was the Chili Peppers, wrong. It was during a performance of a Jimi Hendrix song called Light My Fire. No, wait. Let me stand next to your fire. Light My Fire was done by the Doors. Speaking of which, Jimmy Morrison wasn't allowed at Woodstock 69. He wasn't invited. Because he wasn't really about peace. He was more of a... He was awesome. He was what later on became grunge music. Which by the time this came, it was all post-grunge. I mean, there were other bands like Blind Melon there. Wow, man, don't tell me people are turning poser now. Shit. I remember back then because my truant officer was my landlord. I ended up in a place called the House of Good Shepherd. This is for bad boys and bad girls. So I went to the bad boys' home. Yep, for truancy and for other reasons. Mostly threatening and doing things, I shouldn't be doing, like playing with lighters. Yep. Well, anyway, so a lot of things have happened in Rome afterwards. I had some friends that were murdered. So Rome's not, how do I say, Rome's is a town, man, but it's got a lot of land. It could be a very large city if they just knock down a few bars and build up skyscrapers, but I don't need to do that. That would be a fucking multi-billion-dollar project, and it would be lengthy, like Elon Musk getting people to Mars. But Rome police and the government, they ain't that fucking bright. Fuck. They'll put me in a paper suit for talking about this shit right now. Fucking hypocrites. Rome, man. There's that Griffiths Air Force Base, I know, because my Uncle Wayne worked on a trailer. He fell off on Saturday, so he had to, probably just so he'd get out on Sunday. If he didn't hurt his back on Saturday, he would have probably died on Sunday. He used to make a lot of money. He used to do stages for bands like K-Rockathon and Limp Bizkit and Albany and WCW. Yeah. My mom's boyfriend at the time worked at Pallet Services on a base. Then in 2000, his boss Eric died in a car crash. So we're going to get to this And I just want people to know the truth about Woodstock 99. There is no truth. It was the end of the fucking 90s. We're going back to the very first fucking PlayStation. We're going back to Nintendo fucking 64 and Mortal Kombat Trilogy and 4 Mythology Sub-Zero and Siphon Filter and shit. We're going back to movies like The Bride of Chucky and Rage Carry 2. We're going back to SOC Punk time. Well, actually, that took place in the 80s, and this is Rome N.Y. This is way different than that. But we're going way back to the Limp Bizkit era, before Eminem just got signed in 1999 in March. Couple 100,000. In Revelations, it says only 144,000 people are going to heaven. God is going to be very, very lonely. Make sure nobody gets hurt. We'll be ready to go in just a little while. Hey guys. The Roof. We know that song. LL Cool J, Cold Chamber. Well, they weren't there. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker, burn. You know what Utica and Rome and Central New York's biggest problem is? Lying and saying that we're making threats that we aren't even making. Taking words out of our mouths and adding words in our mouths that we did not even say. Yep, getting us in trouble for shit we didn't even fucking do. And getting butthurt and squeamish every time that they get questioned or told the fuck off. Whether it's the school board, Office of Mental Health. Today music's different, man. I mean, Screamo, it's alright though. I like Screamo. I like Motionless in White in them, you know. I like Eminem. Eminem is sick. For over like 20 years, I've been listening to Eminem. Alright. Bizkit, I listened to still songs. They kind of fell off back in like 2000. I heard Golden Cobra, though. I heard they're beefing with Eminem, you know. But they took the blame for this. You know, it's not all one band's fault. Like I said earlier, it was the end of the fucking 90s. So, you motherfuckers have a problem. I tell you, man, there's some K-Rockathons. Yeah, and their schools, man, owe me lots of fucking money and apologies. Now, I'm not making no threats. You guys owe me lots of money and lots of apologies. And all me, come on, man. We're going back to when Pataki was the governor. We haven't even had a real governor since Pataki. We had, with, well, Cuomo and Patterson and Cuomo Jr. and Cuomo stepped down because of the allegations that were made against him. Shit, it's like the ones that were made against Marilyn and the ones that were made against Cosby and R. Kelly and Vince McMahon. Those women ain't all victims. Some of them are victimizers. Let's go back 20 years ago when some mothers did not have crow's feet, or some of their 16 and 17-year-olds weren't even born yet. And yes, I am from Rome, New York, and I did this video for a friend of mine who is deceased now, Jad Baker. Also, Adam Baker, he's deceased too, and another friend, Dennis Pike.